I think it's set. I think it'll be Brandon Pfaadt. I do think it'll be Pfaadt. We've talked about Ryan Nelson might be better suited for the, bullpen if he, is a long reliever guy. You'll need a long reliever in the first 3 weeks of the season. A guy will be used quite a bit because, starters, they're not looking at starters to go 8 innings. So I think, if you have a guy who doesn't pitch well and you get him out after 3 or 4, it could be Ryan Nelson. So I think it'll be Gallen, Burns, Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Pfaadt. What the hell they're going to do with Jordan Montgomery is I'm trying to find out. I don't even think they know.
I swear to God, and I really mean this, and I mean this with all kindness, humor, and respect. Sometimes I'm glad to hear when you don't know the answer because it really is like most of the time you do. Most of the time you have an inkling on what's going to happen. Like I acknowledge that. I've worked with you for 30. Sometimes it's refreshing when you're like, I don't have the first friggin' clue what they're going to do with Jordan. I don't know. It's just nice because it's like, what are they going to do with Jordan Montgomery? I
did talk to them about it. I've had discussions.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Look, they're not afraid to walk away from $25 million. They walked away from Bumgarner's money. But also there's also this belief like that he can turn it around. Like when they got rid of Bumgarner, there was zero belief that he could pitch in the major leagues. This guy's toast. He's literally toast. He's burnt toast. So when they got rid of Bumgarner, everybody in that organization, do you think somebody will pick him up? No. Hell no. He can't pitch. Getting rid of Montgomery's different. Nobody in the organization thinks that. They all still think that he can pitch. So the problem with the Bumgarner and Montgomery comparison, the money's somewhat similar. What, 32, 33 compared to 25?
34 for Mad Bum.
I mean, look, it's less money than Bumgarner. They're not afraid to walk away from it. But again, there's a belief that Montgomery can actually get right. There was no belief.
There was no value left with Mad Bum.
None.
No value left.
To the point where
every drop had been squeezed from that orange.
To the point where I remember talking like, "Is you think anybody's going to pick him up? Hell no."
Yeah.
Like I was like, hell no. Nobody's going to pick this guy up.
He will get picked up.
Somebody would pick him up and give him a chance. So do you hold on to him? Do you make him a reliever? Do you just try to hold on to him for a little bit to see if a starter gets hurt because you have another option? Like, you don't have to buy him out now. Like, you could try to get through a portion of the season and then buy him out. I mean, if it's not working. So I don't know what they're going to do. But again, there's a lot of people in our organization that think that he still has the ability to turn it around.
It was interesting. And yesterday and the last couple of days, maybe it was a big day in this battle. Maybe it wasn't. Yesterday in a split squad, Ryan Nelson did not pitch well against Kansas City. He went 3 innings. He gave up 11 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. He only had 1 strikeout. Of course, the day before, and I imagine you guys mentioned this yesterday, Brandon Pfaadt retired 12 in a row on Sunday and struck out 7. He was fantastic. Again, how much stock do you want to put in the spring stats is entirely up to you. We don't think they're putting a lot into it, but I got to imagine results like that do have some bearing on the conversation and some bearing in the decision. So maybe the last 48 hours was kind of a swing moment in all of this. Tomorrow, we're going to be out there. I got to admit, of all the days to be out there, Jordan Montgomery's pitching. He's starting for the Arizona Diamondbacks tomorrow. I don't know about you. At 110, I plan on being in my seat and watching to see how he does. Not that anything's going to be based off of that, but if he has an absolutely poor outing like he did the last time in a Cactus League game, it might seal his fate. Like if he's really bad tomorrow, that might be.
We got to let him go.
What the hell else are we supposed to do here?
Yeah.
I feel like as much as we want to say results in the spring don't matter, I think tomorrow for Jordan Montgomery, it matters very much for him to be good.
They don't matter for Corbin Burns or Zach Allen or Merrill Kelly, but they mattered for Eduardo Rodriguez and Ryan Nelson and Brandon Pfaadt. And, they mattered for those guys. They're top guys. It doesn't matter. They're going to work on stuff. They're not caring about giving up runs or anything like that. But I think that with Montgomery, tomorrow could be a big deal. Look, they wanted to trade him. Like, they wanted to trade him.
They worked all offseason to do it.
Tried to, but they couldn't make a deal.
Yeah. Torey Lovullo yesterday on what he wants to see out of Montgomery tomorrow.
I just want to be himself. I've seen Jordan pretty good, and I didn't get a chance to see the outing that wasn't great for him, but I watched his bullpen yesterday, which was fantastic. I watched his live, which was really, really good. So that's who he is. I just want to be himself and block out any of the noise that's going on, the competition part of what's happening. Just go out and be himself and execute. So when he's himself, I know that's a really good product, and that's what I'm anxious to see.
And then I sent this quote to you, and I was fascinated by it. This is Torrey again on, like, if you send a guy down to the bullpen, if you send a starter down to the bullpen, yeah, you'd like to keep him stretched out so that if you need to put him back in the rotation, you can. But at some point, you can't. And here's Torrey talking about that.
No, it's not the mindset. We feel like we've walked away from that. We've tried to do that on a couple of occasions, and it hasn't given us great results. So we feel like if we go down this route, and the starters are able to give us length and coverage for a certain period of time, and they're up in the 55, 60 pitch range, and something does happen, we could probably jump back into that role. But if you shorten that length of time, the amount of pitches they throw, and it's over a certain length of time, we're not gonna go backwards on it. We're not gonna stretch it back out.
So in other words, we send a long guy down to the pen, okay, a starter down to the pen, and if we can give him 55 to 60 pitches, okay, if we need to put him back in the rotation, we can do that. But the minute that starts to shrink, and we can't give you 55 to 60 pitches,
we can't stretch you back out.
We can't stretch you back out because and it was cited specifically in the story I read from Nick Picoro, John Duplantier in 2019. They tried to do that with, he got hurt. Dre Jameson, they tried to do that with him. He got hurt. Once you get shrunk to the certain point, you can't, it's like a shirt,
the point
right?
of no return.
Exactly. I mean, at some
what was
point.
that song in the 80s? Oh, taking you to the point of no return.
Given your encyclopedic knowledge of music, probably, but that's so. Do you want to do that with Ryan Nelson? Do you want to do that? This is
you can send him to the minors and keep him as a starter,
and but then Torrey also
and then
said,
Montgomery's your long reliever because who cares about Montgomery?
He also said in the same conversation, I'm of the mindset that I want to take our very best pitchers to Chase Field. Is that Ryan Nelson or is that Jordan Montgomery? Logic would tell you that's Ryan Nelson over Jordan Montgomery based off how he pitched last year. But then if you get to that point where you shrink Ryan Nelson, you lose Ryan Nelson as a starter. So it's this is a Mike Hazen, Emil Sade, Torrey Lavello production. This is like everybody in a room. Okay, what are our short-term goals? What are our long-term goals? And how do we get there?
Based on that, I think you're better off having Ryan Nelson start in the minors and be a starter every fifth day. And that way he's available the second somebody goes down because somebody's going to go down.
I would agree.
And Jordan Montgomery, I don't care. I'm not. If my starter's getting blown out of a game after 2 2/3 innings, I'm probably not winning that game. I'll throw Montgomery out there.
And he can give me 60 pitches and I can keep him stretched out. Hopefully he pitches well enough that somebody says, you know what? Yeah, I'll take him off your hands. As long as you eat like $10 million.
So if there's a risk that you could lose Ryan Nelson as a starter, I'm not willing to take that risk.
But none of this works if Jordan Montgomery doesn't pitch well tomorrow. Because if he doesn't, that might be the decision made for you. Even though someone's going to claim him the minute you release him and eat the contract, even though that's going to happen, that might make the decision.
Should I bring the limo to the ballpark tomorrow? Where they at tomorrow? Should I just bring the limo? I should just bring the limo.
Jordan! Seriously, when was the last time you've done the limo? It's been a minute. It has been a minute since you've done the limo.
Might have to do it.
Did you do it for Ayton? Did you do it for... I think it's been a while since you've done the limo for somebody.
I have to bring the limo back. I don't have a lot of time left in my career. There's not much time to bring the limo back. I got to bring the limo out.
In these trying times, people need a ride to the airport. There's no doubt about that.
So, Jordan, we're there tomorrow, and Jordan gets blown out in the second inning. Jordan!
Limo time?
Got a ride for you.
You going to bring the hat with you?
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.